Hey everyone, Chaos Giga here, and welcome back to the 1.16 series. Today's episode we are going to work on our wool farm, which is an automatic wool farm, which I will explain later on when we get to it, how important it is and why it's so important. The first thing we're going to do is actually build the automatic composter. It's actually really simple, and I really love these things because especially when you have an iron farm or just when you have a lot of wheat seeds like I do. So like here's all the wheat seeds. I even got some dead chickens or raw chickens in there. But we can put stuff in this composter, or at least the chest above the composter, and it'll just automatically drop it down into the composter for us and then gather the bone meal down below it. So it's one of the reasons why I really love this. So first what we're going to do is start with the trap chest. I always start this with a trap chest because trap chest, when you're dumping the items into them, they won't allow the items to be sucked out by the hopper until after you've closed the chest. It's a redstone thing because that's what trap chests are. They are a redstone object, if you will. So let's go up. So chest, hopper, composter, hopper, chest. Okay, that's where we want it. So there's the trap chest with a hopper coming out of it. And the composter down below it. Hopper coming down out of that. And then a double chest down below that. So we still open the chest with the hopper above it. It's just a solid block you don't want to have above it. I don't know if one of these guys will take a job from this. I doubt it because it's up in the air. But if they do, it's no harm, no foul because they'll become a farmer and we can actually use that. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. We're going to go ahead and grab all those extra wheat seeds I really do not need. Get out of the way, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on, let me back at my house. It's so annoying. They keep trying to go into my house. The next thing we're going to do is the automatic wool farm, which we'll get to in just a second. I think all my seeds are out there. I just wanted to make sure all my seeds are out. Here they are. Now you can also put the poppies from our iron farm in there, unless you want to use them for dye, which you'll have plenty of them. But that's another good thing about the iron farm is with all the poppies that you get, if you have too many for dyes, you can just use them in this right here to form bone meal. So basically with this machine, or this little automatic setup here, you will have unlimited bone meal before you know it. So yeah. And bone meal can be useful for just changing into white dye, or even just growing crops faster. They're also going to be very useful later on when we make a flower farm, but we'll get to that in a later episode because basically the flower farm is going to require a lot of pistons and kind of a redstone setup, which I really want to wait till after we get the diamond stuff. So those seeds aren't going to give us very much, but eventually we'll get a lot more. So first things first, let's go check on our iron farm. I did empty it out once before. Everything but the poppies, so the poppies will probably be the largest amount of thing that we'll have, maybe. Yeah, it's already kicking off pretty good now. It's been going for almost 2 in-game days already, so looks like we've got already over 100 ingots. That's good. Basically, we want that to keep working, and want to build up the iron ingots for making some smithing tables so we can give a bunch of villagers down in the breeder area smithing jobs. And then we want this wool farm to go with that because we want to make a bunch of carpets. Now carpets are very interesting because when you make a double carpet, I apologize for the cattle noise, when we make a double carpet and we put the villagers on top of a double carpet, they can't pathfind, so they won't move off the carpet or steal another person's job site. So we can literally keep them in one spot right next to another person and they won't steal that other person's work block. So that's why we need a wool farm, so we can start getting a lot of wool before we start working on that down below. Now I always like to just dig down for this setup first, and I still don't have a shovel. I need to make an iron shovel since we got plenty of iron now. At least we're going to have plenty of iron now. Okay, let's go ahead and dig these out a little bit. Alright, so we're going to have to dig this out just a little ways underneath here because we want to have room for a hopper minecart. Make sure we put some torches out here. I need to start going and looking for, or mining for more charcoal, or just making more charcoal. Okay, let's go ahead and dig this out a little ways. Now I'm going to pop up on the screen a reason why a hopper minecart is so much better than a regular hopper. Basically, it siphons things from chest or above itself, the block above itself, 5 times faster than a normal hopper, which is very useful in a lot of creations that you can make in this game. So right here is where I want to have the... Let's punch that block out. That's where we want the observer block. Alright. I'm going to go sleep real quick. I'm going to gather the things and I'll be right back over here. Alright, so everything that we're going to need for this is you're going to need glass, of course, to block in the sheep whenever you get it over here. You're going to need a minecart, some hoppers, some chests, 1 redstone dust, an observer, and a dispenser. Now on the side of the dispenser is where we're going to place our shears. Now you're going to want to fill this thing with shears, and you can also do a setup to where it automatically fills this dispenser with shears. But just keep in mind that shears in this machine will take forever to actually break. So you could actually fill up a lot of double chests with wool before all 9 of the shears inside of this dispenser break. So just keep that in mind. We'll also need a lead if you want to lead your sheep over here, which is what I'm going to have to do. So first things first, we're going to place the observer down facing into that block right there, because what happens is when the sheep eats the grass, it changes this block, it updates this block into a dirt block. And then when the grass regrows, it resets this. Now we've got to place our dispenser on top of that, and the redstone dust goes right behind it. Now if you want to, you can change this grass block out to a stone block or something like that. You really don't have to, it's all up to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and start placing the glass blocks around this. I'm also going to go ahead and place one of these in here. But basically you want to just encase this thing in glass. I really don't have to put those blocks there, but I'm going to put one there just in case I have to get back up here. And we're going to do this, and basically we're just going to lead our sheep into here, block him in by putting one more glass block here after we've got him in there, and put another glass block on the roof just to make sure that he can't get out. That also protects him from lightning and mobs. The other thing I forgot was we need a rail. So you're definitely going to need a rail to put on this, because if you don't, you can't place the hopper minecart down. And obviously you want the rail to stay underneath this hopper minecart, so that way it will still be there. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the glass out for... I might actually have to make another hopper. I wasn't... I'm also going to have to break out this block right here. Place just enough torch. I just want to make sure this place stays well lit, because I don't want any creepers or something to show up down here. Okay. So I gotta go grab a rail real quick, but before we do that, let's go ahead and show you how to make the hopper minecart. So literally all you gotta do is place the hopper and the minecart up here together, and it puts them together. Now when you break, if you ever have to break a minecart with something else inside of it, like TNT, hopper, chest, whatever, it always drops the minecart and the other item that was inside of the minecart separately. So you can actually get just a regular minecart back and then have the other item separately too, in case you were needing either item for something else. So that's kind of useful. It's kind of useful. You guys are in the way. I don't know why they keep trying to go in my house, but it's ridiculous. And I think eventually, very soon, I'm going to start building a barn over this. Haven't exactly decided what kind of setup I want for it, but I do know that I definitely want a normal red barn, if you will. Now we can actually break the track and leave the hopper minecart right here on top of this. I usually just leave my track here just in case something happens and then I need to put the hopper minecart back down. We're actually going to cover this up with trapdoors too, because I like to do that. But that'll be later in the future. That's just so that way I can walk over this enclosed area, or walk over this area and not have to worry about falling down in there, and then I can store stuff around it. Because I usually put this inside of a barn with the cattle. And I always put the cattle in a building because they always make way too much noise. So these right here are like probably two of the easiest beginning like things, the automatic composter and automatic wool farm. I could actually grab another sheep and then keep that one there. That would be great actually. Let's just do that. I'm going to keep that sheep trapped in there just in case something happens to this one. It's always a good idea to have backups of your backups, right? Because you never know what might happen, especially with creepers. It's one of my biggest enemies in this entire game is creepers. Good lord, there's so many people now. I don't even want to know what the villager breeder looks like right now. I wonder how crowded it is right now. We'll probably go check that after we get this done. And then I'll walk you guys through what I'm going to be doing in the probably the next episode. I'm going to have to do a lot more farming of trees and stuff to get some gates and stuff like that. Come on, little sheepy. So this is probably the hardest part of the whole entire build. Just getting the sheep to walk in there, and voila. And if I had more glass, I'd go ahead and put another one right here, but I don't, so. Sometimes in order to give this thing a jump start, just do that. That way the sheep will notice it's been sheared or whatever, and we'll eventually do that. And there you go. Automatically sheared the sheep. So let's go down here and take a look. I need to get my lead back as well. So yeah, we've already got 3 wool in there. It should siphon all the wool down to the bottom chest, but if it doesn't, don't freak out. It'll be fine. But basically that's it. It's really, really that simple. And that is why it's always good to have an iron farm first off, just so you can make all the hoppers and the minecart and everything there, like the rail. And now we'll just let this shear the sheep for us while we're AFKing for the iron farm. So I'm going to go ahead and empty my inventory, and then we'll continue down in the villager breeder, probably after I sleep, because it's getting really close to dark. But basically the future plans is to make automatic watermelon farms, sugarcane farms, just the regular piston ones. I don't really need anything like industrial size like I normally do in my realms. But yeah, that's the plan so far. Just to do the smaller versions, but large enough that I can actually get good quantities for myself, since this is just a single player world. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use a pumpkin to place this last glass block on the top. I highly suggest covering both of these farms with something, whether it be glass or something, because if you have a thunderstorm or lightning storm and you're AFKing, you know, the game, your animals could get struck by lightning, so it's important to keep that in mind. Lightning does kill your mobs. Alright, so let's go down here and take a look at the villager breeder to see how many villagers we've got so far. Hopefully a lot, because I'm really needing a lot of smiths so I can get a lot of emeralds real fast. And then we need to make a lot of books so we can make some bookshelves and get a lot of librarians going as well. I also need to check and see how many potatoes I got. Oh yes, we have a lot of villagers already. There's so many I can't even reach the chest. I might have to make a hopper that comes out of that chest there and into a hopper off to the side somewhere. Or make it dump into a dropper. That'll bring it out. But anyway, let's go over the plan that I have for down here. So literally what we're going to do is we're going to dig this space out, so one more deep, place a carpet on the block below this one, place a carpet on top of it, and so from right here on over, and then I'll dig this out further actually. But basically the double carpets will be right here. I'll have this wall dug out further back too, because this needs to be wider, because I need to have at least 2 slots so I can walk through here. Need to have a spot where I can walk through here, a spot with a job block for them, so like the smithing tables and all that stuff will be lined up here. We'll have trap doors in between each one of them to separate them a little bit, and then we'll have fence gates behind them so I can make sure that they stay on those carpets, but I'm pretty sure they won't move because they can't pathfind on the double carpets. That is something that somebody figured out, if I remember right, and I've been wanting to try it. I have never tried this, and I'm going to do it a different way than they did it, so hopefully it still works. I don't know if it will or not, but we'll find out. But that's basically the plan for down in that area. That's where I'm going to have my trader post at, is down below underground, because I find that it's a lot safer and easier when you're building them early game to just build them underground. Because in buildings up here, if you have a raid in your village or city, they can sometimes start getting panicked and somehow escape from their area. But this right here, the way I have this planned out, they won't be able to escape, and they'll be right next to each other, but they could be vulnerable to be shot, so we don't want that. We want to make sure we close that area off, have some doors, some redstone doors in order to get down in there, and make sure we have plenty of fence gates to prevent any of the mobs that usually come out here to attack the village from being able to get in there. So other than that, I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I know this one right here was kind of short, but those right there were 2 really easy farms. Like I said, I have plans to build a barn around that, but that's probably going to be later, way later in the future, just because of the fact that we need concrete. I want red concrete for that. Actually, there is one more thing that we can do. We can start on our books. If I can get in here. So let's go ahead and grab all of our sugarcane out. And the leather is out there, so we'll just worry about the leather out here. So books are what we need for the bookshelves. You also need wood planks to form those bookshelves with. You need about 8 of them, if I remember right. I think it's 8. It's 3 books. No, it's 3 books and 6 planks. That's what it is. I believe that's right. Well, we'll find out, because I do this stuff all the time, but I constantly forget exactly how much. Am I seriously that perfect? Yeah, 3 stacks of 64. Well, what? That's crazy. It's very crazy. Oh well. Let's go grab a stack of leather, because I think that's all we're going to need. See, I've been busy feeding the cattle. And I'm going to put these seeds in that composter before I forget, like I have been. Doesn't seem like very much bone meal, but eventually when we get to where we're needing the flowers for dyes, we'll have that flower machine, or dye machine as it's I think it's mostly called that. So basically you're going to need 3 sugarcane to make 3 paper. So we got 3 stacks of paper now. We have to exit out so it gives us the new recipe, and now we got the book. So for books, 1 leather, 3 paper. So now we got a whole stack of books. So let's grab our spruce logs here. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it all into that. And a bookshelf takes exactly 6 spruce planks and 3 books. So let's go ahead and make make 10. Make 10. That'll still leave us some books to be able to use for things later on. So let's go ahead and make, I think it's spruce planks or slabs. Yeah, there it is. Now we can make the lectern. Now lecterns are very important for us because early game we can use them to turn villagers into librarians. And we can keep breaking the lectern until they give us the exact book that we're wanting them to have, or the exact price if you're looking for a certain lower price. Now when I'm in a single player world, I don't really worry about getting the zombifier to turn villagers into zombies and all of that. But if I'm in a realm, I worry about doing that because it'll make the prices so much cheaper. We can have 1 emerald trades, and that's one way to get emeralds super fast. But we can worry about that later game, to be honest, because early game you just really want to get the best enchantments that you can early game, so that way you can let's do there we go, that's perfect. Alright, so we got our 11 lecterns. Let's move that slime over there. I'm going to store all this stuff real quick. We're going to keep this on us for now. But yeah, lecterns are going to be very important for us early game. That's how we're going to get most of our enchantments and turning villagers into librarians. But first is foremost, we want smiths, because smiths will take iron ingots. So 4 iron ingots for 1 emerald, or 1 iron ingot for 1 emerald if you use the zombie method, the zombie villager method. We can turn those emeralds into being useful for our book trades. So that's why I like to make smiths first, or farmers first, because you can grow a lot of crops too and do the same thing with pumpkins and wheat, potatoes, carrots, all that stuff. You can trade so many, it's like 21 carrots or something like that for 1 emerald, and then vice versa. So basically you just want to get those early trades as soon as you can, so that way you can start getting your emeralds saved up. So like I've already got a bunch of emeralds from the farmers already, so we can start doing our books whenever we need to. I'm going to move that over here, so I'm just move the heads up a row. Put the books in there. I'm going to put the lecterns in here because we need to make a bunch of job sites for this next thing. I'm going to make a bunch of trapdoors, fence gates. So I've got a lot of work to do here off of video, and it's basically not that hard. I just got to grow trees out back here and farm them with an axe, which I'll probably make an iron axe to make this a little bit more efficient than with the stone stuff. But I'm also going to do some more mining too, because I might need some more coal besides emeralds and stuff, because we're going to need emeralds and coal to start our early trades to get them to the iron trades. But that's basically it in a nutshell, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and you understand the plans I've got going into the next episode. So basically the next episode is literally going to be our trader's outpost, but it's going to be built underground. So looking forward to that, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you've liked what you've seen so far. And please let me know if there's anything that you guys would like to see me build. I do have plans for the future of a creeper farm, mob farm, just all sorts of little farms and stuff to build. But first I want to focus on getting my enchanted armor set, some diamond armor sets and stuff like that. And it's really not that hard once you've got a villager breeder that's putting out like an infinite amount of villagers. So stay tuned for the Trader's Outpost. That is going to be the biggest jump in our game so far. And I'll catch you in the next episode.